Some Disney secrets live on Reddit, others live in a patent office. From a paint color built so your eyes slide right past it, through a smell hiding behind a real US patent, past a height chart that decides which princess you're allowed to play, all the way to a researcher who basically got himself fired just to study the place. And at number one, a room Walt designed but never lived to walk into. If you're new here, this is exactly the kind of digging we do every week. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it. Let's start at the bottom. Number 10. The language cast members use so you never hear bad news. Robert Niles spent 5 summers running attractions at Walt Disney World, Pirates of the Caribbean, Tom Sawyer Island, before he became a journalist for the Los Angeles Times. He still remembers the code. If a ride broke down, nobody said broken. They said 101. When it came back online, that was 102. A lost child wasn't a lost child over the radio. That was a signal 70, and it was deliberately softened so the panic in the word never reached the actual lost kid standing 10 feet away. A fire was a signal 25. And then there's the one everyone's heard of, usually wrong. Online, people call it Code V for vomit. Niles, who actually used it, calls it something slightly different, a Signal V, a protein spill. The codes exist for one reason, so that whatever is going wrong backstage, you never have to know it's happening on stage. Number 9. The smell machines patented like a piece of engineering. That vanilla and baked goods smell drifting down Main Street isn't coming from a bakery. It's coming from a machine. Disney calls them smellitizers, pressurized devices that release a scent toward guests, then quietly vent it away before the next one arrives. The technology is real enough that Disney holds an actual patent for it. U.S. Patent 4,603,030, granted in 1986, titled Scent Emitting Systems. It's a public document. Anyone can pull it up and read the mechanism. The first major use reportedly was built by Imagineer Bob McCarthy for Epcot's opening in 1982, though that detail comes from industry reporting, not an Imagineer's own account, so treat it as likely rather than confirmed. Every Disney resort even has its own signature scent, curated by a company that specializes in exactly that. Walking through a Disney park, you are smelling a product. It was designed the same way the rides were. Number 8. The paint color invented to make you stop seeing things. John Hench spent decades as one of Disney's most senior Imagineers. In his own book, Designing Disney, he wrote about a color he helped develop that has one job: to disappear. It's a muted gray-green tone the internet has nicknamed Go Away Green. There's a cousin shade for the sky: blending blue. Both exist for the same reason: to coat trash cans, utility boxes, speakers, and fences, so the human eye slides right past them without registering they're there. Hench himself described choosing, on one project, what he called a neutral gray-brown for the railing, a go-away color that did not call attention to itself. You've walked past hundreds of these. You were supposed to. Number 7. Your height decides which Disney character you're allowed to be. Before anyone evaluates your acting, your singing, your stage presence, they measure you. Disney's character casting runs on a height bracket system. Mickey and Minnie performers run 4 feet 11 inches to 5 feet 2 inches. Princesses like Cinderella, Belle, Ariel, and Jasmine sit in the 5 feet 3 inches to 5 feet 7 inches range. Princes and tall male leads need to be 5 feet 10 inches to 6 feet 2 inches. And if you want to play Gaston, you don't get in the door under 6 feet. Luan Algoso, who started as a Disneyland fur character in 2008, put it bluntly: the first cut is made within the first 15 minutes in regard to your height. If you don't fit the height requirement for any of the characters they're hiring for, then you get cut immediately. Talent comes second. The tape measure comes first. Number 6. The inside joke that became a worldwide scavenger hunt. When Epcot Center was first designed, it was supposed to be the serious grown-up park. No characters, no cartoon faces. So a handful of Imagineers started quietly breaking that rule, hiding Mickey's 3-circle silhouette inside the architecture where nobody in charge would notice. It wasn't even the first time. Back in 1955, John Hench had already worked a deliberate three-circle Mickey into the graphic design of Disneyland's Rocket to the Moon attraction. The phenomenon didn't go public until 1989, when cast member Arlen Miller wrote about it for the internal newsletter, Eyes and Ears. He later said, "I had some WDI friends who would sometimes mention the hidden Mickey. No one was supposed to know about it. Then one day I thought I would try to find them." Disney has never released an official master list. What started as quiet defiance became one of the most popular games in the parks. And Disney never had to spend a dollar promoting it. Number 5. You're standing on Disney's second floor and you don't know it. This is the one that sounds like a conspiracy theory and turns out to be an engineering fact. Florida's water table is too high to dig a real basement under Magic Kingdom. So Imagineers didn't go down, they built up. More than 7 million cubic yards of earth, excavated to create Seven Seas Lagoon, was used to raise the entire park roughly 14 feet above the original ground level. The underground utility tunnels everyone calls the Utilidors aren't underground at all. They sit at the old ground level. You're the one who's on the second floor. The system covers about 9 acres, 392,000 square feet. And the man who solved the construction problem was Major General William Joe Potter, a retired Army engineer who'd previously served as governor of the Panama Canal Zone before Disney brought him on after the 1964 World's Fair. The tunnels also house the park's computerized nerve center, the system that monitors Magic Kingdom in real time. You'll sometimes hear that Walt built the tunnels because he was annoyed watching a cowboy walk through futuristic Tomorrowland in full costume. It's a good story. It's also one even Disney's own historians label as legend, not documented fact. The water table problem, on the other hand, is just true. Number 4. Scientists studied Disney employees like a tribe. One of them got fired doing it. In 1991, an MIT-trained researcher named John von Manen published a study called The Smile Factory Work at Disneyland. It wasn't a takedown written from the outside. Van Manen had been a Disneyland ride operator himself, and he wrote about it after Disney fired him. His offense, in his own words, was a Mickey Mouse offense. His hair had grown over his ears in violation of the grooming code after repeated warnings. His research documented something sociologists now treat as a textbook case, what scholar Arlie Hochschild had named, just years earlier, emotional labor. The relentless cheer isn't spontaneous. It's trained. It's enforced. It has rules. It's worth knowing this didn't happen in a vacuum. In 1984, Michael Eisner's literal first day as CEO, Disneyland workers went on strike for 22 days after the company sought roughly a 17% wage cut. The smile, it turns out, has always come with a labor history attached to it. Number 3. The park entrance that honors the character that cost Walt everything. Walk into Disney California Adventure, and one of the first things you'll pass is a gas station called Oswald's. Most guests have no idea who that is. In 1927, Walt Disney and animator Ub Iwerks created a character for Universal Pictures called Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. A year later, in a contract dispute, producer Charles Mintz revealed the uncomfortable truth. Universal owned Oswald, not Walt. Mintz poached most of Disney's own animators in the same move. Walt walked away with almost nothing. And on the train ride home, he started sketching a new character he'd make sure he'd own outright. Mickey Mouse exists because Walt lost Oswald. Disney didn't get the rights back until 2006 in a trade with NBC Universal, engineered by Bob Iger, a deal that, strangely enough, involved sportscaster Al Michaels. Ray Spencer, the Imagineer who served as creative director for Buena Vista Street, said it plainly. At the front of the park, we have the gas station, which is called Oswald's. The names of the shops and the names of the restaurants are all based on Disney history. The happiest entrance in the park is a memorial to Walt's worst professional failure, and it's the reason Mickey Mouse exists at all. Number 2. Disney quietly rewrites its own rides when the world changes. Splash Mountain is gone. In its place at Magic Kingdom and Disneyland is Tiana's Bayou Adventure. built around 48 audio animatronics figures and themed to the Princess and the Frog. Here's the detail most people get wrong. The change was announced June 25th, 2020, and most assumed it was a reaction to that summer's protests. Disney has stated the project actually began in 2019, before any of the petitions, before the protests. The Magic Kingdom version of Splash Mountain closed January 23, 2023. Tiana's Bayou Adventure opened at Magic Kingdom on June 28, 2024, and at Disneyland on November 15, 2024. And what makes this unusual isn't that Disney rewrote a ride. It's that the rewrite started a full year before the public moment everyone assumes caused it. This wasn't the only edit. In 2018, Pirates of the Caribbean quietly changed its bride auction scene, the one where a red-headed woman was being sold off. Kathy Mangum, senior vice president at Walt Disney Imagineering, explained the fix. Given the redhead has long been a fan favorite, we wanted to keep her as a pivotal part of the story, so we made her a plundering pirate. The rides you think of as frozen in time are being edited constantly, usually so quietly you never notice the version you wrote as a kid is already gone. Number 1. The private bar Walt built but never got to use. Behind an unmarked door at 33 Royal Street in New Orleans Square, there's a room most guests walk past every day without knowing it exists. It's called Club 33. Walt Disney came up with the idea after seeing VIP lounges at the 1964 World's Fair. He wanted Disneyland to have one too. And he wanted it to be the only place in the entire park allowed to serve alcohol. For decades, fans have built mythology around the number 33. Masonic codes, secret investor societies, hidden meaning. Disney's actual explanation is almost disappointingly simple. It's just the street address. Here's the part that isn't simple at all. Walt Disney died in December 1966. Club 33, the room he personally designed, didn't open until May 1967. 5 months. He built a door he never walked through. Walt Disney spent his entire life designing rooms for other people to feel something in. The one room he built just for himself, he never lived long enough to enter. If this was worth your time, go ahead and hit like. And subscribe if you want more of these. I'll see you in the next one.